Hi there, I'm Peggy Farah. I'm a psychotherapist in the Seattle area, and I want to talk to you today about an experience that really just breaks my heart when I think about it, which is I work with these phenomenal people who carry such incredible shame sometimes about areas of their life. And they move through their life believing that they're so inadequate in this area and that somehow the people around them see that or are judging that in them all the time. And I know I've had that experience too of areas of my life where I just feel so inadequate. Today, my kids were late again for school, and I just had that sinking shame as a mother who isn't as organized as I'd like to be on many mornings. And so we all have this. We all have these areas of our life where we feel very inadequate and like they have it all figured out, somebody outside of us. And we sometimes have people that we hold up as the emblem of perfection, and we think, oh man, she doesn't struggle the way I do in this area. But when we do that, what we fail to recognize is that she does struggle. She struggles in a different area, that none of us have mastered total perfection. I really believe that. I don't believe there is any human being on the planet that doesn't suffer or struggle in some way. That is universal. And in some ways, it'd be so much easier if we would all just wear that, if we'd all wear the t-shirt that speaks to our faults or our shame or our areas of inadequacy. You know, if we would feel so much better in some ways if we could just say it and see it. And instead, what happens, particularly in our social media culture, is we see the news feeds that just continue to reinforce this false and untrue idea that somebody out there has mastered it, which reinforces the false and untrue idea that we are somehow wrong or broken or different, when in fact we're all so much more alike in that same way. We don't all struggle in the exact same area, but we all do struggle. In some ways, there needs to be a different kind of Me Too movement. Just says gig is up. It's a hoax. It's a hoax that there is perfection out there that we all need to climb to and cling to. And what I encourage you to try to do as you recognize that, as you just let yourself sit in that universal truth, that it's okay to admire and appreciate beauty or value in somebody else's life experience, but it doesn't need to deplete you of your own value. So I talk about a concept in my work that I call toxic comparison, and I often use this in reference to the very specific area of body image. When we compare our body to somebody else's body, and by appreciating beauty in their body, we then feel really deficient or have this incredible toxic experience of shame, as opposed to the possibility of really just appreciating form. That you can see beauty in another person and just hold appreciation without it devaluing you or depleting you. In the same way that you can recognize the beauty in a sunset and not feel any less than about yourself, or the beauty in gorgeous trees in a forest, and it doesn't need to mean that you are any less than or deficient in any way. So I encourage you to just explore that concept for yourself. What are the areas in your life? Who are the people in your life? What are the experiences that bring up that sense of toxic comparison or shame? And what can you do to transmute that into experience of true appreciation, that you can value the fact that somebody else in their human experience is successful in one area or is accomplished or has beauty in an area, but also hold the truth that they too suffer. And maybe that very same person looks to an area of your life and says, wow, I so wish I had a cohesive family unit the way that person does. And maybe there is something about you that's creating a toxic comparison in them. So just encourage you to be kind to yourself. Remember these universal aspects of humanity. We are all growing, we are all evolving, and in some ways I really believe that's the spiritual point, is that we are wounded, we do get wounded, we do struggle, but we move through life and we evolve and we accumulate experiences that push us into more wholeness. And hopefully through that our own sense of wholeness, that breeds more connection with each other. And the more that we can move away from toxic comparison, the more we can actually find interconnectedness, interbeing. That this experience of believing falsely in somebody else that they are an emblem of perfection, that just further separates us. It divides us. Okay, hope that was helpful or interesting for you, and I encourage you to come check me out on deepercravings.com. Take care.